Hi there guys, I'm Chris Bowden and welcome to the Geek Group. We're here today with Billy Gerhardt.
Oh.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
We're actually at your place today. We're out in the field. Now, this is the first of a series of videos we're going to do by massive viewer request because everybody out there wants to know how to build a Tesla coil. So what we're going to do is make a series of videos of how to make a Tesla coil outside of the lab. So it's stuff that normal people have because the average person watching our videos does not have access to, 5-ton transformers. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out today with how to make a bucket capacitor, and over this series of videos we're going to show you everything you need to know to make a basic NST powered Tesla coil in your house, or preferably in your garage, or in Billy's garage. You can come over here and hang out. So, yeah. Okay. So today we're going to start with a bucket capacitor. Now, some of the stuff you'll need, this is not an all-inclusive list, but it'll give you an idea what to shop for. Follow me over here and we'll show them. You're going to need a bucket. You're going to need a generic 5-gallon plastic bucket. Don't get them in black. Try to avoid gray. Any other color than that's fine. But black plastic, they frequently use carbon in it to tint it. So stay away from that as a rule. This one is a nifty neon hunter orange kind of thing. You're going to need a 12-pack of Corona long neck beer bottles. You are not going to need the beer. How you choose to dispose of that is entirely up to you. You're going to need some salt, just generic, cheap table salt. It doesn't matter if it's iodized, it doesn't matter what brand it is. Don't use rock salt. Use something that'll dissolve easily. The soft, little granulated salt works best. You're going to need some oil. We just use generic cheap motor oil. You can use pretty much motor oil, mineral oil. You can use vegetable oil, but don't because it'll go rancid and it will really suck when you have to open up the capacitor 5 years from now. So stick with oil. Beyond that, you'll just need pretty much basic hand tools, some simple hardware. You're going to need some crimp connects. You want a 1/4-inch hole that'll fit a 12-gauge wire. And you're going to need a handful of 1/4-20 nuts and bolts. You're actually going to need 2 of each. And that's it. That's pretty much 90% of what you'll need to do this. A little caulk, some basic hand tools, nothing special. So, you want to build a cap?
Yeah.
Okay. This starts out, first we have to dispose of the beer.
Okay.
Now, you're over 21, right? Totally. Yeah, you'll get served. All right. We have to properly dispose of the beer. So for this, since you're underage and I don't drink, we'll have to get some adult help. So, Jim, come on in here. I'm sure there's an easier way to open this, but I don't drink. I really have no idea.
We all have no idea.
Okay, Jim. I need you to consume 12 beers in 5 minutes. Hey, I got you a Gerber, right?
Yeah.
All right, here, I'm contributing to the linkage minor. You get to open 2. I'll open a couple. You got Swiss Army knife? Something?
Nope.
I've got one.
Mine, so.
Yeah, you're set. Okay, everybody open some beers. You are not allowed to drink beer.
I know.
Okay.
Never will.
Okay. Especially with your parents standing right over there. And a cameraman right next to us. Oh, I can teach you a usable skill though. Everybody save your beer caps.
Can't get this one.
Huh? I'll get it.
Pliers.
I'll get
Yeah.
it. What do you mean you can't get that one? This one?
I'm not sure if this thing's got a Swiss Army knife or whatever, but... Oh, you got the Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. Well, you know where I learned how to do this.
I can do it with Swiss Army knife, but...
No, I went to college. Okay, now, everybody watching this at home, enjoy the show. Grab a couple, follow me. Let's go water the grass. Come on!
What on the tree to the left? We're trying to kill it. That's where we're
Which tree?
That tree. We're trying to...
We're trying to kill...
Yeah, we've
Good
put
luck.
stuff.
Yeah?
As
If
can
you want to
see.
kill it the most efficient way, get some copper nails and drive them into it around the bottom.
Oh, I see.
It'll work. Alright, la cerveza más vida.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll do one. That's fine.
Okay, there's our bottles. If you give them a spin, they go faster. There's like gonna be 1,000 commenters that are telling me how horrible of a person I am. Yeah, I still hate beer. I don't understand the appeal.
And it's gonna smell for a long time, isn't it?
Oh, it's gonna smell like a brewery back here. All right, is that all 12?
Looks like it.
Okay, we need. Oh, yeah, there's 3 more here. We need to clean them out. We can use a hose, or actually, you know, to work, and it's right here without having to fight for a hose at this point. Grab some bottles. I have an idea. Come with me, and we'll be in a world of pure imagination. Water again, always with water. Why? Why? Okay, we just gotta rinse these out.
Here.
Okay, that one's clean.
Salt water.
Salt
Okay,
water.
what do you need?
Huh?
We have a long house.
We could do it out here, we could do it in the kitchen, whatever you guys want. It doesn't really matter. But we need...
What's easiest for you?
Huh?
Let's see the hose is right there.
Do you have a way to get a lot of... Do you have a bathroom with a bathtub on the ground floor?
I have a work sink in the basement right here.
That'll make hot water?
Yep.
Can you put just the hottest water you can get in there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
just
right.
get it like 40
We'll let him do that. Now while he's doing that...
How full do you want it?
Huh? Oh, just put about, fill that about half full. All right, we have hot water, thanks to Jim. Thank you, sir. All right. Now, and it's hot, which is set. Now, add salt. What we're going to make, that's yours, is what's called...
What one's mine?
The Swiss Army knife, this
Oh,
one's
yeah,
yours. Here. What we're going to make is called a super saturated salt solution, which is we're going to dissolve so much salt in there that it won't take any more. This is easier with a knife.
Yeah. Here. Yep.
So the cool thing is you can't add too much salt. Oh, this is annoying me. They got little protector things in them now. You may have
Yeah, they do.
You may have to put, oh, or you could just do that.
Yeah.
Just dump the salt right in there.
Yep. There we go. Now it's even. I'll shoot it right there. Yeah, sometimes when I spill stuff, I have to spill it again on the other side.
So that's a good system. Okay. So the cool thing is you can't add too much salt. What you want to do when you make this is you want to add enough salt where no more will dissolve in it. And I can never remember how much one of these will take, so I always just buy 4 or 5 of the things because salt's really cheap. It's like 50 cents for a
You want me to get
jar
rid of
salt.
that? Or is that fine?
It'll go away on its own. Now we need something to stir, so we'll grab a convenient drumstick. This is why you want to use the hottest water you can get. I have in the past actually heated water on the stove to do this. It does make it easier. But you mix it all up, and if you don't get all the salt off the bottom, that's okay. Because we're going to make more salt water later. There's some really good B-roll. Jim arrives with implements.
Is it on high power mode within the battery?
Yeah, here you go.
That works. That does it.
So at this point, we need to add salt water to the bottles. So we grab a bottle, which are now clean, and they don't have to be dry, they just need to be rinsed out because they're going to get wet anyway, so it doesn't matter. And the ways to do this are either just fill them right in there, like that. Water is really hot.
Yeah, we have, it's coming straight from the hot water here, 2 feet, and then there's the sink, so it's painful. The slow process.
This is a slow process. It's faster if we have like a jug or something. Okay, so we've got a bottle with salt water. Then you want to dump out a little bit because you only want the bottles full to about there. Okay, actually I usually fill them to there, but you get the idea. Okay.
Yep. Do they have to be
So-
even?
Yeah, they got to be pretty. They don't have to be exactly even.
Otherwise,
I mean,
if one
this
would
isn't
discharge
rocket
faster than
science.
the other one.
Doesn't really matter. It's not like they're going to break or something. I've heard of people breaking bottles, but we've never done it. The only way I can imagine you'd actually break bottles is by physical abuse of the capacitor, like if you knock it around or
I
something.
put aluminum foil around them before.
That's the dry type.
Yeah, that
And
will break it.
yeah, that's the kind most people make is the dry type. We don't do that. The idea behind the Geek Group bucket cap is to have something that is portable and
Isn't really delicate.
it's still, yeah, it's still pretty rugged. There, that's where you're going for, right there.
Alright.
So we'll take the next one. So stick a bottle in there and let's start filling bottles. Okay, so we filled up our bottles. Now we've got more water in here than we're going to need, but we don't know how much more. So we'll just take a convenient pitcher that we will never use for food and dump the extra right in there like that. Okay? Now there's still some granulated salt. No, just leave that right there. We'll just leave this on the floor. There's still some granulated salt on the bottom here, but not a lot because we only use 2 things. So we're just going to leave that in there because a little dusting of granulated salt on the bottom here isn't going to hurt it. And if the water ever, because the level of water in here will never change. It'll be airtight and it'll all be under oil so it won't evaporate. If the level of salt in the water, like it wants to absorb more salt, it can just absorb the granules off the bottom and that's a good thing. But it won't hurt anything if it doesn't, so it's cool. Now we take our 12 bottles, which are all filled to the base of the neck, and we put them in here, just like this. And you won't think that you can fit 12 beer bottles in a single bucket, but you can. They will perfectly fit. They will just fit, but they will perfectly fit. All 12 bottles, just like that. And they won't tip over. So there we go. And we have just about the perfect level of water. Look at that. Now you want the 2, here, we'll bring this down onto the floor at this point. Now you want the water levels to match. So we'll add a little bit from here. They don't have to be exact, but you want them to be pretty much the same. Okay, now we've got all our water levels within a 1/4 inch of each other. Now, we take our oil, and we've got a quart, and we've got, I don't know, a gallon or something.
Ridiculous.
So we'll take the quart first, and we're going to fill up the bottles. You don't have to be pristine with this. You want to fill up the bottles.
It's fine that we're getting the oil in the solution, right?
Yep, it's totally okay if you spill oil in the water. You know why?
Because
We're going to put a layer of oil on top of the water in a second too.
Or how are we going to seal these? Because what if we were to accidentally tip one over?
If you tip over a finished bucket capacitor, it's ruined.
So you can't like shake it or anything, or like.
I would recommend against it. You have to. You can haul them around, and they'll take quite a bit of knocking around.
Because I still.
But
like,
you
the
want to
oil's
remember
spilling.
that it is glass, and they are angle sensitive.
Yeah, I'm just worried. Like, so the oil's not is going to be open still.
Yeah.
All right.
And we've been hauling them around to live shows and stuff for years and never had one die yet.
What do you use to power big Tesla coils? Pull pigs?
Pull pigs.
Now what's the kilovolt rating for one of these?
For one of these?
Yeah.
You can run a pretty beefy coil off bucket caps, but you need to balance the capacitors to the power supply. So we don't run pull pigs on beer bottle caps. You could, I mean, there's no reason why not. They're not very efficient. I mean, the trade-off is, this is a very cheap capacitor, because capacitors are usually one of the more expensive, if not the most expensive part of a Tesla coil for the average, home builder. So this is a way to make them cheap.
You can buy them online.
And you can do this with stuff that you can, easily get around the house. It's not hard. This is all stuff we got, right in town in half an hour running around. It wasn't a big deal though. The downside is this capacitor is really inefficient and it's really heavy. Now what we're doing here is we're adding this oil for corona suppression.
That's weird.
And the oil will
Corona
float.
beer.
Yeah, that's why we use Corona. It's the joke. But
Yeah, I
but
got
that
that
because it's
flavor.
clear glass, and clear glass works better than brown or green as a rule. We've always had good luck with clear glass. And what
Oh,
this
that should be
does
fine. I
is
don't
this
think
is
water's gonna get
Corona
out.
suppression. Oh no, this is totally fine.
Ooh, that one's floating.
Huh? They are not floating. They're all
Oh.
they're all sitting on the bottom. They
That
won't
one
float.
looked like it.
Yeah, they'll look like they're moving. Now what's going to happen is we've stirred the water up into the oil as we did this. Yeah, I just dumped it all in. So we used a gallon for a round and a quart to fill the bottles. So it takes a gallon and a quart, and that's perfect. That's way more oil than you need, but it's not going to hurt anything. It's a good setup.
It smells like mother.
It smells a lot better than it did.
Yeah.
The salt water, I hate the stink, and it dries your hands out really bad.
Especially.
So we've got this. Now we've got the two plates and the dielectric, because the way it works is the glass of the bottles is the dielectric of the capacitor. That's where the charge is actually stored. Now the plates are, there's the jacket around the bottles, which is one plate, and there's the water inside the bottles, which is the other plate. So we've got a conductor separated by a dielectric with a conductor. Okay, so it's two conductors with a dielectric in between. You with me so far?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So what we do at this point is we're going to make our jumpers. Now I'm going to have you making jumpers, and I'm going to wire up the bucket, because there needs to be the jumpers and the two main terminals. So for the jumpers, we'll take, and you're going to need a pair of strippers. Do you have a pair of wire strippers?
I only have the Gerber, but we don't have wire strippers.
We don't have wire strippers. Okay. You're going to want to take from your bottles down about that far, there, over, like that. I want you to take your Gerber, that one bead keeps coming back. Make a bunch of those,
Yeah, there it
roughly this size. They don't have to be exactly that size, but roughly that size.
And
Make
so
a bunch
it's like
of
from
these.
here down to...
Huh? Not all the way down. These are going to sit in the bottles. Okay, you make them with a long thing because you can always bend it. They're going to drop in the bottles, and you don't want them to touch the bottom of the bottle. So they need to be about that long. Okay?
So how'd you measure it? Just make sure I don't screw it up.
No, just use this.
Okay.
Use it as a gauge. Say, okay, well that's about how long I need it. And we go around like that. Okay? Because they don't have to be exact, and then just cut it right there.
Okay.
And just make more like it. Okay? Just make a bunch of those, and while you do that, I'm going to prepare the side connections. We're going to need the drill and bit. Gonna need... I'm actually going to use a 7/32 drill bit, which is a hair smaller than the 1/4" bolts we're putting through them. That's a cute little toy. A lot of torque. Take 2 washers and a nut. So I've got 1 bolt, 2 washers, and a nut. Now I'm going to drill a hole in the side of the
It gets
bucket
longer every one we do.
above the thing. Now you look where the handle is, because this will annoy you in the future. So you put the handle there, and you come off 90 degrees from the handle, and you want to be just under the thing, so you're up about here. Drill a hole. And you do this before you put it in the thing, because otherwise you're guaranteed to drop a nut or washer in the container. So you limit the amount of nut and washer
How many
you
of
have
these
to
do you
do
want?
inside the box. Huh?
How many of these? do you
Make 13 of them. And make sure that fits good. Oh, it fits beautifully. I need the other end of your wire for a second. I'm gonna need about that much.
Does it matter what the rating for this wire is?
Huh?
Does it matter what?
No, just plain old 12 gauge wire. It can be bare, it can be, this is THHN, but it doesn't need to be. Now you'll notice I have way more wire than I need, okay, because I'm gonna go around. So. Here.
Sorry if these aren't exact at all, but
So I'll strip that back. I'm going to see if I can do this. I don't know if I can, but I'll try.
I think I just found the easiest way. Make a long wire.
What?
Go like that. Behind it.
I just did it by hand. Some manly man do that. Hardcore.
Wow.
That's right. Hardcore. I'm a manly man. Jim's going to sit over there and giggle at me. He can do that with his teeth. Okay, now I've got my big end stripped. I got this. Now I put my crimp connect on here. Now that's on there. Now you take that. You want to have the flat side of this here facing the bucket on the inside. Just makes it a little easier. Bring that so you know you're down about there, and then just make a circle. Okay. Twist that around, and we drop this right down among the bottles. It doesn't matter where it goes or how or anything, it just has to be down under the surface among the bottles. And then the bolt, and then a washer, and then through the side.
I think I might have been 14 with this one.
It doesn't matter. I need a screwdriver.
Alright, screwdriver, what kind?
Phillips.
Does it matter how set or how long it is?
No, not really. Just number 2 or 3.
Oh, it's not in. What drawer did we put that in? Oh yeah, down here. This
Now,
one.
by going a size smaller, I have to thread it through, but it makes the connection nice and tight.
You need
I
something
said a
bigger.
2 or 3 and you give me a number 1. Man,
Oh, sorry.
man, it's alright. Alright, now you've got all those cut. Now
Yep.
we got to strip the ends off of them and then lace them in.
They're not exactly bent, but
It doesn't matter, just strip the ends off. Strip about 4 inches off each end if you can. Between 2 and 4 inches or so. Now I'm going to tighten this in to about there. You see I left it out a little bit? And then I'm going to put a washer and a nut on the outside. And we'll leave them out about a 1/4 inch. I'm going to take some good goopy caulk. I'm going to goop a big wad of caulk right here. all around it. And I'm going to make sure it goes under, all around. You cannot have too much caulk.
Is that good? Like that?
It's beautiful.
All right.
You're my hero. I'll put a big goop of caulk out here. And this is just plain old silicone caulk. This is white caulk. Normally I'd use clear, but you know. Where's it? There it is.
Are these long enough to fit all the way down to the bottom?
No, you don't want them to go all the way to the
Oh,
bottom.
I see. Well, then, might have messed up on that one.
We'll trim them.
Okay.
It'll be okay. If it reaches to the bottom, you'll feel it when it goes in because it won't sit right.
I mean, like to the bottom of the neck. Is that what you're talking about?
Huh?
Bottom
No,
of the neck?
I mean the bottom of the bottom. You want them down. You want them to go well beyond the bottom of the neck, but not all the way to the bottom of the bottom.
Because I'm not sure if this is going to be long enough.
We'll make it work.
Alright.
If they're too short, we'll cut more. Okay, I've got that in. Now that is one of our two connectors. We'll say that's our negative connector, okay? Because that grounds out through the whole area. I need that. All right. Now, how many do you have that are finished?
3.
Okay, what I'm going to do is take these, and I'm going to make sure they're long enough, because how much you have in the middle doesn't matter, which is really cool. Because if it's too much, you can always bend it. Now look, see how those are long enough to reach down the bottles? I'm going to bend it a little bit in the middle. I'm going to drop it down in between any two bottles, just like that. And now the inside of those two bottles are electrically connected. Okay? So you keep stripping, and I'm going to make the... No, I'll do that later. I'm going to help you strip. So we just need between 2 and 4 inches. I prefer to do this with clear wire, just, you know, uninsulated bare copper wire. But the hardware store I went to today didn't have it. Well, they did, but it was 6 gauge, and I figured that was a little bit overkill for what we're doing. All right, now look in here
Okay.
and make sure they're all connected to each other. Like from any bottle, you need to be able to get to any
that
other
one
bottle.
right here.
That one there.
Where? This one's connected
one?
to this one.
What about this one to that one?
Oh no, they don't all have to connect
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
each other,
yeah.
but they all need to be connected together in some way. We made more than we need, which is good. So let's just start. You can't have too many, so you just fill them in there. Like any that seem to be less connected than others.
That-
So is
oh.
one or
Just
two of
toss
them
it.
gonna be, like only have one wire in them, or?
Yeah, 1 or 2 might only have one wire, but it won't hurt at all. It'll be
What
fine.
about this one? That one looks
That one's fine.
Okay.
All right, so we're cool there. Now we've laced them all up. Okay, we've got all our little U's, our jumpers. Now we take our lid. Ta-da! Don't push down on that or it latches. Okay. So we grab the drill. Now if you want to be really cool, you get it right in the middle, but it never works out. We need, where's the wire?
Oh, this?
Yep, we're gonna need a little bit. We're not gonna need a lot, we're just gonna need about that much, and that is more than we'll need.
Hold it up to the camera.
All right, so we're gonna take about a foot of wire or so. I'm gonna strip a little bit off the end here.
Yeah, I got more on me. Hold on.
Good!
Aye.
It ain't a project unless you're a little messy, it's part of the gig.
See that track.
All right.
That gets you dirty.
Now, we need another one of our connectors. This is cool, because the smallest they sell is a pack of 7. I don't know why 7, but 7 count. So that's pocket parts. Pocket parts are a good thing. Now you put that through there.
I've gotten buried.
Now when you crimp these, if you look at the connector in there, the connector comes up like that and there's a little seam. When you put the crimper in, you want to have the seam. There's a pokey side of the crimper and there's the cup side. You put the seam up in the cup. Okay? and then you put this through, and you want to have it come all the way out the other side, like that. And you don't want to have it out like that,
Yeah,
because
it's
it'll
not
get in the way
gonna
to bolt. So you have it down about here, just out the side, about 1/8 inch, and then squeeze, and you squeeze it with everything you got. 2 hands, you want to be way out on the end, and just, you want to totally deform the connector in the process. So we've got that. Now we're going to bend that flat side up, 90 degrees, okay? So we take our lid, take our bolt and washer, and they go through this.
Are we going to test this?
We can. Now you hold, because we used a 7/32, I think, one size smaller than a quarter. Put that on there and feed it through. And you actually have to thread it right on. And that's a nice, you know, that's pretty watertight at that point. You want to have it really well sealed. That's what you're going for. And we'll take our caulk gun and we'll
Does
goop some
the oil
caulk right
interfere
here.
with the caulk right there?
Oil versus caulk can get dicey. You never really know if it's going to work or not, so just goop it on and hope for the best. Since it's well above the water level, it shouldn't be a problem. Because remember, these aren't submerged joints. This just has to protect against the occasional splash. So we should be pretty cool. And you can just finger tighten that down and get a really good tight seal on the outside.
No, I don't know how this is going to help us too much. The things inside.
Yeah, we'll see when we get there. Alright, now we'll put that, a bit of caulk right around there. Goop it in. There, we're cool. Alright, now we'll put our washer and our nut on top. You don't want to cover these with caulk. You want to keep the tops clean. Okay. You just want caulk down in there and we'll wipe off the excess. So we'll just spin that. And you get a little caulk on your finger and that's all right. Okay. I'm just going to bring this right down here because paper towel is my friend today. Now, I'm going to spread that around. No, I was here. Finger paint with dark and pencil. There, see, someday you can sell that and it'll be worth like $1. So,
Nice.
all right, now I'm going to put this here.
Is that how you're always supposed to do
Grab
it? You
that.
grab it with your face?
Hey man, I do whatever I can. And tighten this down really good. Just everything you got. Okay. So that's on there. Now we take this. The one here goes right down in the water and goes around the bottles. This one we're going to bend like that because we want to have it kind of springy and we don't want to have it too long, so we're going to put a little hoop in it like that so there's no sharp point on the bottom. We're going to put that down inside one of the center bottles. It's not long enough. So we'll just straighten it out because I thought we'd be too long, but we're not. There. Now it's down inside one of the center bottles. And now we're done. We have a capacitor. So, at this moment, we double check everything because once we seal it, it's sealed. Okay? Now, we've got our bucket with no leaks. We have
Yep.
all of our bottles are filled properly. That's in one. We've got our jacket around them. They're totally laced together. We've got plenty of wires there. That's in there. So, is it good for you? What?
You've got one wire to that, but that's fine.
Okay, it's good now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're cool with it?
Yep.
Okay, I say it's good, you say it's good. Now, grab the edge and squeeze. Stand on it. Just stand right on it. Stomp the edge. Work all the way around the edge. All the way around.
Nope, not that set yet, I don't think. Oh, you got it.
Here. See, I was going to let you seal it, but I knew you didn't have the body weight, so you just stand on it. But you have now made your first official Geek Group bucket capacitor. So that's how it's done. And it's sealed and it's good, and that's your first step. So, do you want to make sure it works?
Sure.
All right. Well, there's ways to do that.
You want me to
Okay, now we're connected on there. And I've got the wand on the other side, so let's see what happens now. Okay. I'd say it's a little bit more intense. How you like that? Now I'm going to turn that off because if I keep doing that, we're going to kill a transformer. But the capacitor works.
Yep, and now we need a safety gap, and then we connect it together, and then we take the two output terminals, and we can get the blue.
Yeah, but we're not going to do that. You're not going to do that when I'm not here, because doing that is a fast way to kill NSTs. So we don't do that. Okay. Our next step is going to be probably to build a safety gap. Actually, will be the next step. But that's the first one. We'll figure out what we're going to build next. But for there, we have, that's safe, that's dead. We have made a working bucket capacitor. Now this, a regular 5-gallon bucket, just like we built it with 12 bottles, is perfectly sized for one 12 or 15 kilovolt NST in the 30 or 60 range. We tend to use 1530s, 1560s mostly, and this works out just about perfect. They're not exact, but it'll work. It's close enough for what we're doing here. This isn't research grade. We're making arcs in the garage. So one bucket for one big NST. Now this is a 1230.
Yep.
So yeah, this would work. Yeah, it's hard to read with all that stuff. But you get the idea. So it'll work with a 1230, 1260. I think we had them perfectly sized for 1560s, like if I remember. I don't know, it's been a long time. But this will work. We'll do some tweaking with the primary and tuning and all that, but this will be close enough to work with one NST. And that's what we're going for. We're going to make a simple Tesla coil. So we've got our power supply, we've got our capacitor. That's two of the hardest parts to get squared away. So there you go. You now know how to make an official Geek Group bucket capacitor. I want to thank you for helping me.
Thank you.
This is Billy Gerhardt, who is going to be in a lot of our upcoming videos. This is like your thing, your high voltage kid.
Yep.
Cool. He's Power Boy. Raw. See, there's a t-shirt for the video right there. Power Boy.
No, yeah, well, I got the Geek Group.
Yeah, you do have an official Geek Group t-shirt. See, I'm just wearing like, blue, gonna get oil on my shirt. So, cool. You guys have fun. I'm Chris. That's Billy. We'll see you next time here at the Geek Group. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and kill a bee.
Yeah.
See you later.
This video was made possible by a grant from the Future Girl Foundation.
This video was made possible by thousands of private donations from members and viewers like you. Please visit thegeekgroup.org for more information on how you can donate and become a part of our dreams of Avalon.